Good afternoon. Yeah. What's up, America? How you doing out there? You know what time it is? Emos, the witness. And it's time for the Phil Show. As you know, it stands for time by now. What the fuck I look like. And we're back for a Freestyle Friday edition of the new show. So as you guys know, this is a hot new show. We come through with the new political analysis, new accountability show where we hold these politicians and these leaders out here in this world to task. Downtown at 120 East Market Street with my man Wyatt here at Wave 1 Media. So come out here and get you a show, express your opinion. Let's get down to it. Wyatt, let's get to the background music. Let's jump into it. Because, it's been a while. It's been about a week. We're really trying to play with this show as far as how we get it going and get it rolling out. Those who've been reading from the very beginning know that we've been pushing these episodes out on a kind of a rough draft scale. But again, like I said, Emos the Witness Show is a concept that I created where I wanted to kind of bring a new voice, a new perspective to social media, to battle against mainstream media, to get you more informed with the news and what's going on out here in more detail, and get you guys more informed on an even kill, objective manner. And as you guys know, as I stated previously, as all the time that I state that we came across these two hectic election seasons where we just didn't really know who our leader was gonna be. We didn't really know who to trust in our mainstream news and where we get our information from. We're getting pulled from all sides, and it's bad enough that we're already busy as it is. And the fact that we're going through this COVID haze, you want to make sure you're getting some fair and objective analysis and news, and also you want to make sure you're getting all the news, right? So we're trying to mold this show to be that. We're trying to mold this show to be that objective, ringleader. I'm as Emos, I aim to be just a witness, just like you. I want to know the truth. I want to know what's going on. I don't want to be played. I don't want no bullshit. We don't want to look up and say, "What the fuck I look like?" What the fuck am I getting from society? Am I well informed? Am I prepared for what's next? And that's what's key. So, in this show right here, Emos, we're trying to get back to basics on this episode here at the Phil Show on a Freestyle Friday. I tend to have a tendency to talk about everything under the sun. But we're trying to groom this show now to a point where we're getting more standardized, where we're getting more content to you on a more current and more even basis, where you actually kind of get a drop each and every episode, and a growing trend of the topic, so you can stay on board. So we're going to be having a website coming out pretty soon. Like I said, emoswitness.com. We have a lot of analysis and a lot of news, a lot of interviews, a lot of polls. And we're also going to have a lot of video clips on a smaller clip scale, give you little news clips on YouTube and on our various podcasts on Spotify and Amazon, things like that. So I want you guys to be on the lookout for that. And I'm also going to be on the lookout for your participation. I want you to chat. I want you to join. I want you to email. I want you to call. I want you to be an active witness. So we can push back on our politicians on a local and national level, so they know that we're watching them, and not just our politicians. And that's what I mean by getting back to basics, because it's just not just our politicians. Our politicians, it's our media moguls, it's our Hollywood elites, it's our business tycoons. And shout out to Elon Musk. Go with that. No, who was that gentleman that went up to the space the other day? That was
Richard Branson.
Yeah. Would you do that shit? Would you go up in space? Would you
Probably, yeah.
I think right now it's about what, 100,000 or something like that, or like 200,000 to go to be. I know they had a drawing, but I mean, there's actual price to go up to. I think they call it like just the weightless region of space, I believe, right? So you would do it? Would you?
Probably, yeah.
I think I would too. I had to be one of the first 5,000. I couldn't be like the first 100. Those engines got to get warmed up.
Yeah, I'm probably right there with you.
Yeah, I can't be the guinea pigs. There's gonna be some guinea pigs. This first 15, that you guys are guinea pigs. So, but like I said, getting back to basics, and I'm not trying to get on these kind of tangents, but yeah, like I said, we want to hold all these big wigs accountable. We want to make sure, because they influence our society. Like when we're born, most of us, I would think the majority of society wanted to actually put a stamp on the world, leave their mark. However big, however small, you want to make a difference in society, in your local community, or you want to blow it big. So you can't knock someone like a Branson or Elon Musk who have big dreams, even like Bill Gates, who have big dreams and ends up impacting the world in such a major way. But at the same time, people can go besides themselves, and you got to make sure that make sure how does that affect me as just an ordinary Joe, the plumber. So I'm here to fight for the little guy, and I hope that we can make politics and these news stories and these articles entertaining for you. and I hope that we can together grow as witnesses and stay informed. So when election season comes up, and we got some big ones coming up, y'all, in 2022 and 2024. We want to make sure we're ready. The midterm elections. We want to see, and I have an article. We're going to talk about that too. The things we talk about today on this show, we're going to be talking about my passport troubles still. We actually finally seeing businesses increasing wages due to these labor shortages. We're trying to find the reason for these labor shortages as well. We got U.S. banning Chinese products. And we got a pretty much article here about a reconciliation bill, and it may have an issue with the Democrats' majority expecting to slip away. So we just want to talk about that because, like I said, one of the reasons why I started this show is because I was really, really surprised and really upset what happened with the results of the 2020 election and the 2016. Frankly, 2016. I voted. For full disclosure, I voted for President Trump, former U.S. President Trump. For various reasons. One of the reasons was because I was looking for an outsider. I was liking his policies. It had nothing to do with personality. It had something to do with leadership. It had something to do with me wanting to have me having the intense desire to end corruption in politics and leadership, because leadership is valuable, man. It's hard to find good leadership, man. It's very precious. And when when you see corruption and you see it obviously in your face, if you can do your part to represent America and do what you can, then you're gonna try to do that. And I feel like I have to go ahead and make a chance and vote for the outside candidate. And so when I seen all of this trampling of our constitutional rights, and I seen all this trampling of the judiciary system, and the blatant corruption of leadership in the upper echelons of the U.S. State Department and the FBI, it's in your face. And then you see the media avalanche of one-sided viewpoints and, deception and disinformation and, outright gaslighting. And I'm sitting here like, as a 41-year-old black male, I'm married with kids. I'm sitting here like, I should actually feel this way. What my group think. I should be feeling this way, but I'm actually feeling this way about this stuff, and it's obviously in my face. Does anybody see this shit? What the fuck I look like? How can you possibly, interfere in an election, spy on a campaign, and get away with it? And I have an article today about the Durham report, give you the latest on that. And one of my fear is what we always fear, is when you have something that's this serious get glossed over, and then the upper tiers of society, of leadership, get away with it. Two-tier justice system, right? I hate when it's confirmed. So we're waiting to see if that's going to be confirmed, this time around, because, the society can't afford that. To confirm that we have the have and have-nots, and we have judges on the payroll, and we have people who can get away with just kind of trampling over the judiciary system and campaign and laws and get away with it. But you can't. And then what happens is there's a precedent set so that when it happens again, they can get away with it because the laws were passed and such things have occurred. They're using your former president of the United States, your former president, as an example of the current laws and tactics, FBI tactics that's always been on the books, that you've always went through. Those I'll drain your bank account. I'll make you go through constant, lawyer fees in order to just bankrupt you into submission. I'll harass your family. All these crazy tactics, entrapment. All that stuff was on display on your world leader, on your U.S. leader, for you to see. And now we put on you. And then how is it going to get all laid out in a mainstream media that's biased? So we have to protect against those things. We have to fight back. We have to create new voices. So I encourage you to create a website, create a blog, create a show, create a podcast. Come down to Wave 1 Media, 120 East Market Street, get you a show. But before you do that, hit that like, subscribe button for Emos the Witness. You catch me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Like I said, my website is coming soon. I'm actually really draining because I'm really, really trying to get to my vacation. I have a trip booked, but I'm afraid my government's gonna let me down. I shipped my passport out. My application went out early May. I don't have it back yet. My vacation's in the 26th of July. They can't tell me anything. Can't get no temporary passport interview. Can't get no nobody on the phone. no email updates. So you put your mail passport on the early May. They get it mid-June. What the fuck is that about? That's a month and a half later. Not only that, they changed the laws, so now they increased the processing times. Even though I have expedited, I know you guys probably want to hear this shit, but this is rich folks' problems, and this is problems I never had before. I like that. I like to talk about rich folks' problems. It's one of those good things. Oh, darling, I'll just have to go ahead and refund my whole package back. My worst case scenario is getting my money back. That's a good fucking problem to have. I never had that problem before. Now, I don't know if that's because I moved up a little bit economically. I don't know. But I like that. Oh, shit, I got chocolate on my Jordans. You know, I like to have that kind of problem now. You know, and I think that I'm on that cusp. So all you black males, hold on strong. You know, because I think there's a period of grinding. There's a period of struggle. And then you look at one day and you're like, man, I'm fucking exhausted. Because you got through all the hoops, you see? And then now you think you're lazy and shit. You're not lazy. You're recovering. So I want you to get to that recovery stage and get ready to enjoy that second half of your life. You know? You made it. Congratulations. So I feel like that's where I'm at. You know, I feel like but I'm like, this vacation is like on the horizon, but I can't get to it. It's like it's in reach. It's like oasis and there's like water in the desert, you know? And I can't seem to get anybody on the phone. Motherfuckers tell me, you know, good luck, or, you know, it's possible, you know, but that's not good enough. So worst case scenario that, you know, my rich problem will go away in the form of me getting my refund back and planning my trip at a later date. But I really want to go, man, because I'm draining and it's affecting the show. You know, I'd rather just, you know, relax, you know, because I feel like I'm in that exhaustive stage in my life. But I got to keep pushing. And, you know, got to keep pushing towards those projects that I'm working on. And this is one of the projects, the field show. And, you know, shit, hell, I wake up in the morning like, oh, fuck, I'm married and I got kids. I can't even chill out. I gotta relax. I mean, I gotta keep it going. But there's a certain point where you're like, man, I'm, you know, all the little shit is I'm handling that a little bit better, you know? So, yeah, I said those passport woes, those passport blues. So we're going to see, stay tuned. We're going to see if my government, you know, our institutions are going to let me down. You know, you call them up on the phone and you get somebody on the phone after waiting hours. You talk a little shit to them. And you're right. You're on the right side of the argument, right? And what do they give you? Oh, well, you know, the COVID. You know, due to COVID, we don't have really this, and that, and the other. Like, that motherfucking COVID excuse is gonna be here to stay. You know, it's just like that cousin. You know, it's just gonna be here to stay. Cousin is now brother. That motherfucker been living here for 8 years. Where's mama at? COVID is here to stay, y'all. And let's find out why. Let's see if we can dig into the reasons why. Look at this first article. We got employers are paying up to address labor shortages from Axios. Now, I told you guys, you know, that I'm a proponent that I like I said, there's some things going on in the Trump administration that I really liked policy wise, and one of those things was sealing up the border. And you know, the theory and the angle was when you seal the border up, you address the labor problem because you're increasing wages. You're offering wages to lower income families that are actually U.S. citizens, and you're forcing these corporations to ante up, you know, to pay up and really, you know, in a lot of ways, you know, remodel their business model. Remodel, I mean, even in the physical sense, you know, you see Taco Bell looking more chic, the way the building works. You know, I predicted, and I don't know if it's gonna happen yet, but excuse me, shit. I told my wife, I said, you know, you're gonna see like a Arby's, right? Where you got like 4 employees in there, but like the 4 employees are like the manager is one, and then you got like one motherfucker in one corner, I don't know what he's doing, pressing buttons. And you know, other 2 doing the same shit. And then you have a bunch of robots making burgers. But like that salary for those 4 people are gonna rise tremendously. You know, where that 9-to-5 McDonald's burger flipping job is no longer, you know, just some kind of joke. Now you're saying, okay, well that cuts out the other 4 employees that are back there, you know, mopping floors and picking up shit and making fries. But no, motherfucker, they gonna get a job somewhere else because innovation creates more jobs, it spurs more jobs, more creation. You know, so we gotta give these things a try. You know, we can't just keep on going off these old reasonings and explanations for these old politicians who want to keep their their nice their nice little pocket money, from their special interest groups. So we gotta give these things a try. We can't be scared to dig into new ways of spurring jobs and creation. Like I said, we have a good mix in society of creators, but we have this old leadership. We need term limits. The old ideas are brought up. They want you to pay them something before they open up the doors, the gates of opportunity. Got all this regulation, And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that mix, that our melting pot create, more creations and better leadership. And we can do that here at the Emos Witness Show. We can all be witnesses. We can hold these politicians accountable by name, by rank, and we'll dig into all that. So when 2020 comes along, they better tighten up. They better speak more clearly. We better see a policy and some agendas that we like. We're voting your ass out of office. We should no longer be duped like we were the last two elections. That's uncalled for. We should not let our voting rights be under attack. We should not let our right to free speech. We should attack against censorship, right to bear arms, all those great things that equal freedom. And watch for any kind of snake law policy, any kind of passages that try to suffocate our rights. We got to do it, y'all. We got to. It's necessary. So like I said, this article right here from Axios. So hourly wages, you see in transportation and warehouse, the average hourly earnings by industry. 3-month annualized rate. Transportation and warehousing, leisure and hospitality is 17.7%, 15.1%. Retail down the line. Now, employers are doing what they have to do to address persistent labor shortages. They're offering more money. And I believe that if you offer more money, people will come out the woodwork. Now, before I get into the article again, I have a little theory that, honestly, this shit had nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has nothing to do with COVID. It has to do with these motherfucking acne. These motherfucking pimples. Motherfuckers got a self-esteem issue. We need a self-esteem campaign. We need a proactive campaign. Biden got motherfuckers going door to door giving out vaccines. Motherfuckers need to go door to door wiping his gloss on people's faces. People are scared to work because they got acne all over their damn face from that mask. You motherfucker took that mask off for the first time. Some motherfuckers had to take that shit off, and that shit was just kind of like stuck to their cheek, and had to pull that shit off real slow, and just hurting and shit. That's what's going on. Motherfuckers staying at home until the acne clear up. That's why jobs motherfuckers is hiring. We need an acne campaign. I'm talking, we gotta go back deep. We gotta go back to the oxy pads. You know what I'm saying? Clear motherfuckers' faces up. They will go back to work. They staying at home because they scared. It's self-esteem. How would you want to go and check out somebody at Taco Bell? You got a whole ring of bumps, forehead down. So we need an acne campaign. We need no vaccination campaign. It must win it, y'all. Hit that fill button. Hit the fill show. Fuck I look like. Hit that like, subscribe button. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Like I said, we dig into everything. Current events, politics, news. But like I said, we're going to get back to basics. The reason for this show is to protect the rights of the American people. To no longer be duped. To hold these politicians accountable. And we'll get into the Durham report. The latest with the investigation with the spineless spies and the Russia investigation from the Trump administration. It don't matter the party. We're here to clean up house. No matter who you support. Because if you don't do it like this in the future, there's nothing to support. There's no one you can back. Because your leaders won't even care about you. Okay? So let's get this acne campaign going. Okay? And I bet you see these jobs get filled up. Okay? Why it matters? The reopening of the U.S. economy has fueled demands for goods and services, but businesses have struggled to meet that demand because current pay rates aren't attracting the qualified applicants that employers want. And their face is bumpy. By the numbers, the June jobs report on Friday showed average hourly earnings up 0.3% month over month in June. So employers are getting the hint. We got to pay people more. So there's some good things that come out of this whole pandemic. You know, we're finally seeing, we saw a lot of triggers. We saw a lot of hair raising or I guess eyebrow raising, eye opening experiences. Where we can change and make the society better, right? We've seen it in the schools, right? We weren't ready for work at home, or we weren't ready for kids learning at home either. And we're seeing regression in our child's education as a result. So now what are we doing besides teacher unions fighting us? But what are we doing to be prepared next time this happens for our children in the schools we got shut down? You know? What are we doing next time we have a pandemic? Are we getting better with this? And so we're also learning that, hey, you know, when a pandemic is slowing down, when it's over, people are slow to get back to work, right? So what we got to do, increase wages. One other thing we got to do is kind of watch how much stimulus money we get back out, right? We got to watch how much these big businesses take advantage of those kind of programs, right? We got to watch the wasteful spending, right? And we got to watch out who you got to identify who's on your side, who isn't during tough times, right? Who takes advantage of things? These drug companies, these teacher unions, these politicians. You know, never let a good crisis go to waste, right? When we have these big issues, you get to see the wolves come out, right? So we got to watch out. We got to watch out and watch out some of these hurdles and some of these problems that can arise as a result of big events like this. So leadership, policy matters, right? So this continued growth is notable because it comes on top of a 0.4% gain in May and a 0.7% jump in April. I got 11 minutes, you guys, so I want to kind of go through some more. What are they saying? Getting workers back to the job site has not come cheap. Wells Fargo senior economist Sarah House writes, employers have had to pony up in industries where shortages have been particularly acute. Lower wages, industries like leisure, hospitality, and retail, which combine to employ 30 million people, report strong gains. Leisure, hospitality, and retail accounted for 49% of the 850,000 jobs added in June. And see, that's my point. Like, that's a strong number, but what's going to happen once the summer and the vacation seasons end? Like I said, are we going to head to a nuclear winter? How valid are these jobs? You know, how strong, how long lasting are they? Are they temporary positions? What are we doing to spur? And then you got the infrastructure plan coming up, but you got Republicans fighting against that plan. That can't create more jobs, but also create more corruption, more wasteful spending. It could cause more inflation. So we got a lot to look into, you know, and keep in mind on that. And you look at this article here from Unbiased America, the cost of rent is soaring, you know, for a lot of reasons. But Americans are facing a huge surge in their cost of rent homes and apartments. Rent for single-family homes is growing to a fastest pace in 15 years. Nationwide prices are increasing at a 3 times the normal pace. It's a warning sign that higher inflation could linger far longer than the White House and Federal Reserve keep predicting, says the Washington Post. A big part of the problem has been people living big, unaffordable cities along the coast and flocking inland. People left high-priced areas like San Francisco, New York, San Jose, Boston, and Seattle. Sound familiar? And headed for places with lower cost of living like Arizona, Idaho, Texas, right, conservative states. Interesting. Unfortunately, for people living in those areas, the influx of new residents have led to huge bidding wars for real estate in parts of the country that used to be considered affordable, causing rental prices to skyrocket. A 69-year-old renter in Boise, Idaho said, Idaho, I mean, that doesn't even sound right. A 69-year-old renter in Boise, Idaho said his rent nearly doubled in Boise, Idaho? The problem is all these people in California are moving here. They are paying for a house sight unseen. That means you buy a house and don't even look at the motherfucker. Just, hey, I got so much money. Just let me see it. Just let me buy it now. Here the money. Give it to me. In Arizona, it's the same. There are a growing number of California license plates in the neighborhood where prices are going through the roof. One renter in Phoenix said she returned to her apartment to find a note stuck to her door saying that rent was going up to nearly $400 a month. 33% increase. So why are these people moving into these right-wing states? I told you before in previous episodes, poor leadership. You know, California's going through a lot. You know, on top of the fires, on top of the homelessness. You know, you got San Francisco mayors and lawyers. I mean, you know, you got politicians passing laws letting stealing be legal. You know, under $900, you can just go in and take some shit and just walk out. You know, you just get a fine or something. It's called anarchy. You know, we need laws and they be enforced. You know, taxes being risen and, you know, just the overall leadership. You know, Gavin Newsom, you know, it's causing his people to migrate inland, putting a strain and a resources of other states. Now, you know, can you imagine? I mean, what the hell's going on in the Southwest and in the West? You combine that on top of all these liberal movements and the immigration border issue. Man, I draw a diagonal line from like Washington all the way to like Denver, like Louisiana, like northern Louisiana. I just cut all that shit off. Like I don't, I can't. Even, I'll go visit people. I'll go to San Diego or something. Go to Vegas for a little bit. I ain't fucking with y'all after that. And then really, you can kind of trim. You put a line down like shit. Where did Trayvon Martin die? Jacksonville? No, was that wherever city Trayvon Martin was fucking with? You take a little diagonal line and take it all the way up to like Queens, New York, along the east border. I ain't fucking with none of that. And West Virginia too. You kind of put like a little curve around West Virginia, come back and then come on up to like Maine. But give me a little bit of that Queens though. Give me that little bit of that Queens bridge. And I ain't fuck with nothing on that side. The Atlantic Ocean, I keep all that ocean shit. I'm good. I'll fuck with Detroit, Canada. I'm trying to get to Canada a little bit. I'll fuck with the islands. Like Florida, my people from Florida, you know what I'm saying? I'll fuck with Florida, but I won't fuck with certain areas of Florida. I will never live there. I will never live in Texas. But shout out to Texas. I like their strong vibe as far as the nation, the national vibe. Let me see. I'll fuck with some of the Arkansas shit just to lay low, Tennessee to lay low. Hide out. I ain't fucking with Chicago. Come on now. Just put a big X, red X around all Illinois. Straight up. What you got left? What's next? Shit, Indiana. I guess, yeah. Indianapolis. That's where we are. You guys, you must have witnessed show, the field show. So yeah, that's pretty much the most I'll fuck with. Is probably just kind of like where I'm at. I'll probably go to Detroit and then jump down to the islands, and kind of miss Key West. I ain't fucking with Georgia. Put a big red X around Atlanta. I got many reasons for that. I'll bring up another show another time. Emos with it, y'all. So yeah, you see rent is rising, and people coming inland. So get ready, get you a little piece of the pie, and kind of get ready to pay for that increase. Man, if you get some rental property, hold on to it, flip it. Start flipping, get it out, make a duplex. Oh no, there's my laptop. Keep going. Okay, here we go. So yeah, I got like 5 minutes, y'all. I wanna on the freestyle fight. Let me kind of breeze through a couple things I want to talk about, and I'll bring it back up on my next show. But like I said, I want to kind of keep us on abreast of what's going on in politics, and in particular, the upcoming elections and maneuvers going on between the Democrats and the Republicans. Every bill is important, every law is important, every maneuver that's going on is needs to be chronicled to kind of see where they're going, where they're headed, what they're thinking. Because like I said, in my opinion, the Democrats run the political game to a T. They play to win, win at all costs, and they just play a more grimier game where the Republicans kind of play the same kind of game, but they have a tendency to kind of backbite. And it's in particular you can see it with the Trump influence, because he's an outsider, and you got this conservative status quo Republican base that kind of wants to, and you got this warmongering base too that kind of wants to kind of keep him at bay. And they also, he knows through his campaign, through his administration, he was sabotaged a lot by his own party, by people in his own party, like the Murkowskis and the Mitt Romneys and the Bill Sass and the Paul Ryans. And that still happens today. And you imagine, now I don't want to go into this again, but you imagine you put that on top of, a media and a business bias, a New York bias, a New York State attorney bias, endless investigation throughout the administration. Before that, there was a spying initiative, and he was still very successful in a lot of his policies. And and that's what I want to see continue. So no matter who the leadership is, but going into 2022, there's a lot of jockeying for position, and there's a lot of things going on when it comes to the filibuster, when it comes to the infrastructure plans, and this new article that I've been kind of going through. China passes a bill. Actually, that's the wrong one. Actually, the reconciliation bill. Excuse me. It includes left-wing goodies as Democrat majority expects to slip away. So let's read this article. This is from Yahoo with James Ansel III. Immigration is infrastructure. Climate change is infrastructure. Much of the liberal agenda is infrastructure. While the final price tag is below some of the proposals floated by the most liberal Democrats in Congress, This is the approach President Biden's party is landing on a $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill they hope to pass on their own without any Republican votes. See, that's what we need to change, guys. These these laws being passed by one single parties, using these reconciliation laws and things of that nature. Filibuster. Democrats are going big and going it alone, hoping to get a new package across the finish line, courtesy of Miss VP Kamala Harris, tie-breaking vote in the Senate. Man, you hear about her too? We gotta dig into that one day. Her whole office is like in turmoil. Like her employees do not like her. It's a very evil, horrible working atmosphere. I can't wait to dig into that. We got more information to come on that. But anyway, there's actually there's a little link right here. It says Kamala in crisis. Yep. Got that right. Democrats have pushed through big changes by small margins before. President Bill Clinton's 1993 tax increase passed by one vote in the House and got through the Senate by Vice President Al Gore breaking a tie. Obamacare, which is horrible, passed a House vote by a vote of 220 to 215. However, the version of that advanced the Senate through reconciliation, the same budgetary process Democrats plan to employ to pass their partisanship infrastructure bill while negating a Republican filibuster, attracted all 59 Democratic votes. But in both cases, the Democrats' congressional majorities were much bigger, leaving them in more votes to spare. This time around, they can afford few defections in the House and none in the Senate, which is why all eyes are on centrist Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Christine Sinema of Arizona. Now, those people have routinely voted Democrat, but they've had the tendency to be more moderate in their viewpoints and their policies and have voted Republican in the past, and even during the Trump administration, which is tough to see. And these kind of laws, these kind of issues right here, kind of point out the delicacy of and actually the importance of the 2022 election, because like I said, you have these Democrats who have Republican voters in their district they have to adhere to. They can't just vote along the party line all the time. And a lot of time, there's some Democrats out there they actually have some common sense and really realize a good bill when they see one. And so hopefully they recognize this being a bad bill, and they vote against it. Because, like I told you, I'm of the belief that I want to see a Biden administration that does least as possible. Because we don't really find them to be legitimate. And I want to see 22 to be a referendum on that. I want to see a change in the House and a change in the Senate. I want to see a balanced government. I want to see a government that works together. We don't need this half-ass shit. So, this is my time, you guys. I can't really say too long. We're gonna get the show going to where we're more in depth on these investigations and more in depth on these policies, what's in these bills, why we want to reject it, why we want to support them, who's on our side, who are the wolves when they pop their heads out. And we want to look at all the wolves from the Durham investigation, and we're gonna cover that on the next Emos Witness show. We had congressional member Devin Nunes come out recently and said there's gonna be some litigation. There's gonna be some people getting hit with this investigation, but it's not gonna be broad scale. And that's what I'm referring to, you guys. It's like there's a few scapegoats, and then people get away with murder. So we're gonna dig into the Durham investigation, see where they are with that, see if we can find out, who's gonna be held accountable. So I'll be able to witness you guys, the Phil Show. Fuck I look like. Hit that like, subscribe button. Join the cause. We can all become witnesses. I want you guys to enjoy your weekend. I'll see you soon. Emos Witness.